Hey guys, thanks for visiting us at Sister Night Podcast. Please don't forget to visit our Facebook and Instagram at Sister Night Pod. And you can follow us at our blog at sisternightpodcast.com. And now onto our show.
Welcome to Sisters Night, our weekly podcast show where we discuss pop culture, the latest happenings, and dish advice on all things from love and relationships, business and career, and adulting in your 20s and 30s. My name is Maddy, and joining me every week are my sisters Cindy and Charlotte. Behind the scenes, we also have our brother Josh, who's in charge of all the sound editing stuff.
Good.
Hey everyone!
Hey guys!
Hi! Welcome. Today's 420. At least you'll be hearing this on 420. So happy 420. And happy belated Easter to everyone. How was your weekend, Charlotte?
It was good. It was good. It was very productive. I got a lot of planning done for the podcast and for my YouTube channel. So that was really good. I was proud of myself for getting a lot of stuff under my belt, feeling accomplished and all. How about you, Maddie? What did you do this weekend?
I did a lot this weekend, but before we begin, I forgot to mention, it's just two sisters tonight. Unfortunately, Cindy couldn't make it. She had a late night at work, so, the show must go on. So it's just Charlotte and I today.
And this will happen from every once in a while too. So
yeah, I think so. I mean, like we all have very busy lives, and anything can happen at the spare of the moment. So Cindy had to work a little later than than usual. So we had to continue the recording without her. But yeah, we'll miss her this episode.
We will, for sure.
So back to what I was saying. This weekend was very busy. It was Easter weekend, so there was a lot of Easter activities. And this was kind of my first real Easter.
With the baby, right?
Yeah, with the baby. I mean, we always celebrated Easter with Cleaver's family, but it was like we always showed up for like the food portion of the day, not necessarily for all the other activities like the Easter egg hunt and the stuff with the kids. So we were more involved with all of that this year. I took Jonas to see the Easter Bunny, and that was fun. He loved it. It was fun. I just feel like this is all a new world for me because we didn't grow up doing any of this.
No, we didn't. You're right. Like I was kind of shocked. It's weird. Like every year people are coming out with like these holidays and I'm like, have I never ever like learned about these holidays, or why don't I celebrate them? They always ask me, well, what are you doing for such and such or whatever? What are you giving up for Lent? And I'm like, I don't really do Lent.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up Seventh-day Adventist. My mom is Seventh-day Adventist. So there was a lot of things that we didn't partake in growing up. And it's a whole new world for me. But, I had the conversation with Mom actually on the wedding weekend. And I told her, there's certain things that I want to do with Jonas that we didn't do growing up. And even though she may not agree with me,
So you had the Halloween talk with Mom.
Yeah, she will never vouch. She'll never sponsor Halloween. She's made that very clear.
Ever Halloween or Harry Potter?
She will never sponsor Halloween, so she doesn't believe in Halloween. Doesn't believe that I should celebrate Halloween. But I expressed my point. I said I want to do Santa and I want to do Easter and I want to do Halloween, at least the fun, dress up part. We don't have to have like skeletons and like blood gushing, but like the cutesy, let's dress up and pretend to be someone we're not part of it. So
do you know why you want to do the whole Santa thing and that kind of, part of childhood with Jonas? Do you know why you want to do it specifically?
Do I know why? Well, I mean, I just feel like I don't know. Like, I just feel like I want him to experience those things. Like, I didn't really get to do that stuff. So, I don't know. As a parent, you always want the things for your kid that you didn't. And I personally love Halloween. For Christmas, I will teach him the nativity story, but I also like the whole tradition of Santa. I love the whole pretend and let's leave the cookies and just the fun and magic of it. Like,
right.
I feel like we live in a really negative world. There's always something going on, and like kids grow up too fast. And if I can preserve that little bit of innocence, whether it's, you know, for 5 years or 7 years or however long he believes in these things, why not? You know, I don't think I don't think it's gonna traumatize him. Mommy's like, well, if you know you lie to him about this, he'll have trust issues for life. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. The way I see it is like, I don't think my kid's gonna hate me because, you know, I told him about the tooth fairy and
I'll tell you what your kid's gonna hate you. Remember when Mom bought you guys that dog Gizmo and then like took it away while you guys were at school? That's what kids end up hating you for later.
Yeah, those are the traumatizing events. Yeah, so no, I don't think it's bad stuff. I hope any parents that are listening with their kid, hopefully you don't listen to this show with your kids, because sometimes it's adult conversation, but you know, you may want to turn down the dial during this talk. But yeah, I love the magic of it. I want to create those memories with Jonas. And yeah, so I had to talk with Mom and I said, listen, I'm doing this stuff. I know you don't agree with it, but you got to respect my wishes. And she's like, okay. So we'll see. Jonas is still a baby. We got however many more years to go. So we'll see how it goes. But I appreciated it. Mm-hmm.
I have mixed feelings on the whole, you know, all the holidays. I don't know. Like, I guess in the last couple of years, I haven't really been I haven't been able to participate too much in the holidays just because I've been working so much and I usually work the holidays. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. Like, I think about stuff like this all the time. Like, now that Cindy has married a man with a different religion that we grew up, like, I don't consider myself religious at all. If people ask me what religion am I say nothing. I don't have a religion. But I always wonder, like, how are you going to raise your kids, right? Because when you raise your kids, you want to think about the principles that you're instilling in them. And I always think about stuff like that. Am I going to do the tooth fairy or the Santa or any of that stuff? So I think that's why I was so interested to hear what you had to say and why you wanted to do it. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's a personal decision at the end of the day. I will say that there are certain aspects about the holidays that I don't like the excess, the consumerism, I guess you would say, like tons of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, you know, my kid, we don't go crazy buying things for Jonas. I mean, he's very blessed that he's got family and friends that always spoil him with things, but I just don't see myself being that parent that just kind of buys him everything under the sun. I think, you know, he has what he needs, and, you know, he'll have a few things, and, you know, he'll take care of those few things, but as far as excess and, like, just more and more and more and more, I don't like that, you know. I hope I wasn't raised with tons of things, and I feel like I had a pretty nice childhood, you know. Yeah. I played with my cousins, and we didn't need tons of toys and tons of things, you know. And right. I want Jonas to be raised like that as well, like not needing things in his life to fill up an emptiness, you know. Like, right. I want him to be able to appreciate spending time with people, And what I like about holidays are the traditions and the family time, not so much the things, you know.
Right, I agree.
Come with it. You know, so like the thing about Santa is not necessarily that Santa leaves toys, but like I like the tradition of reading the Santa stories and leaving the cookies and the milk, and those are the things that he will do with Kleber and I. You know, those are traditions that he'll do with us, and those memories, not necessarily like the tons of toys, because I don't believe I'll be doing tons of toys either. No. Now, has Kleber said that he was going to keep the Santa secret and the Tooth Fairy secret? Is he, like, all down for all that? Because I feel like he wouldn't keep the secret. He'd be like, no, kid, Santa ain't real. You know what? After having Jonas, like, Kleber definitely has a softer side that I'm now seeing. I think he will. Just because, you know, having a kid, I don't know, you just get excited to see them excited, I mean, you know?
Yeah, like you can't help it.
You can't help it. Like when Jonah, granted, he's only 6 months, but when he laughs, like we laugh, like, you know? So I think if it makes him excited, he will keep the secret. He's like me with that, probably even more so about material things. Like we don't have tons of material things, and I can see him being very adamant about those parts of it, like not wanting to, you know, if it means lots of money, you know him, he's not about spending money like that, but so that's kind of like a little bit, again, this is all wishful thinking. I think every new parent just has these ideas of how they're gonna raise their kid, but at the end of the day, you never know.
Yes.
You know, you never know how it all works out, but those are the plans. We'll see how it goes.
So, what is going on in the world today? There's so much going on, I feel like. Well, kind of, yes, there is a lot going on, but at the same time, not too much. It's been kind of like a slow weekend. So, well, one thing that did come out was the Fate of the Furious, the 8th movie in that Fast and the Furious franchise. Can you believe it? The 8th movie?
I can't believe it. You know what? I can't even say whether I've seen an entire Fast and Furious movie. Like,
not even the first one?
You know, I don't know. Like, if I saw it, like, I might have just, like, seen it in passing. But, like, I would never sit down to watch a Fast and Furious movie. Like, I would never be clicking through the channel and be like, ooh, Fast and Furious is on. Let me put this on. It's not my kind of movie. But, I mean, it must be someone's movie. Apparently, it made $532 million over the weekend.
Yes. It did. I heard that too. That was like, you know what Fast and Furious is? It's that movie that you watch with your boyfriend or your husband. You know what I mean? That's the only reason I've ever watched movies like that, is like,
it's funny, but I mean, that's not Kleber's cup of tea either. But I mean, I was reading about this movie, and they said it made $532 million, that it was the largest debut worldwide, and it surpassed the Star Wars movie, which is $529 million.
How is that even possible? It's just like, what could they possibly be making different about this story? It's a story about fast cars.
Well,
and they get away.
Exactly it. I think that's exactly it. I think it appeals to the lowest common denominator in everyone. You know, there's no crazy plot lines. There's no, philosophical questions you have to answer. It's just a bunch of cool cars smashing into each other, things blowing up, and people just eat it up. You know, they do. The one thing I will give them, they have a very multicultural cast. So
they do. That's true too. Yeah,
that is one of the pluses of this. But otherwise, I really just don't see the appeal. But someone's watching this movie because it is the biggest franchise for Universal Studios. It's up there. Wow. I would say it's number 8. Like, I think it's gonna rival James Bond, if that's even possible.
Wow.
And I know you're a big James Bond Bond
Yeah,
fan.
I love James Bond. I am waiting for the black James Bond. I cannot wait until we're liberal enough to get to do that. I'm so excited.
We're
for
due.
that.
I'm still voting for Idris Elba to be James Bond.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if he was? Ooh.
I know there were rumors on the internet, but I don't know. A lot of people were up in arms about that, but
I mean,
I would love to see it.
He could certainly pull off a suit well enough to do that.
Yeah, and he's British, so isn't James Bond British?
Yeah, he is. Exactly.
There you go. He's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, no, he's perfect. He's perfect.
Yeah, he's perfect for the role. So Fate of the Furious, big hit at the box office. What else happened this week? I think Lala and Carmelo Anthony announced that they were separating, or
yes, I heard that too, and that is not the only possible separation for Mr. Carmelo Anthony. I heard the Knicks want to let him go too. Wow. Somebody, I forgot who it was. I have the link on my phone, but the director of somebody important who's making decisions said on a press conference that they can't possibly win if he is on their team.
Wow. That is brutal. That's messed up. That's kind of messed up.
Exactly. Like, if you're saying not only that we don't want you, if you stay, we can't win. Like, that's awful. And apparently, the guy who said it actually has quite a record of being a really good coach and director. So for him to say something like that is a pretty big deal. But apparently people think that he's still good. The only thing I guess is like, how do they let him out of the contract, right? So he still has a contract. So if they let him go, do they pay him out without him finishing his
season? It may be worth it for them if they're thinking bigger picture. If they feel like they can't win with him. That's
crazy, though. Why not just bench him for the rest of the season? I guess you can't, right? If you have like a basketball team of only a certain amount.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't know how that works, but I know I was talking to Kleber about it, and he was saying, he plays well, but I guess he's doing poor for his standards, so he's not playing his usual game, and he's just having a rough season altogether. So some of that has had to have spilled into the marriage, because now they're talking about they're separating. Lala moved out of her home with him and got her own apartment,
and she's been seen without her ring, right?
Oh wow. Yeah, so I guess it's pretty serious, which sucks because I really like them together,
Yeah.
Lala, I remember her from the TMZ MTV days, back when MTV used to play videos. She was a VJ. And, they've just been together. I think they've been together since 2004. So you're looking at almost 13, 14 years together. Wow. And they've been married for 7. So it sucks to see a couple like that, they seem so sweet together. And, but that's Hollywood. And then I also heard, allegedly, and I'm going to put this in allegedly because it's just a rumor and we can't say it's true, but apparently TMZ is reporting that one of the reasons, or probably the biggest reason why they're getting a divorce, is that he got a dancer pregnant.
Oh my God.
That a dancer that he met at a gentleman's club came forward and saying that she's 6.5 months pregnant with his baby. And that
so cliche.
I know. I'm
so
like, really?
Cliche.
That she wants money for medical expenses and other baby costs. Other in quotation marks. Who knows what other baby costs.
For damages, miscellaneous, emotional damages.
I mean, it's so cliche, but I could totally see it, like he's feeling down on life. The game sucks, probably, he's just looking for a pick-me-up, and, he does the dumb thing that guys do. He goes looking for that affection, trying to feel like a big man outside of the relationship,
Yeah.
And now that might end up costing him not only a pretty penny, but also, more importantly, his marriage.
His wife. Absolutely. That's crazy.
We're just going to have to keep our eyes on this situation. Like I said, they're separated. They haven't filed for divorce yet, but it's looking pretty dire in that relationship. So,
yeah.
But anyway, moving along, let's talk about Coachella. That was like pretty big this weekend too.
Yeah, I did see that all on the internet. It sucks to like see all these wonderful bright outfits and sunny pictures, and you're stuck in an office.
I know. I've never been to a music festival, and like part of me wishes I had that experience, and part of me just also feels like I don't think I could handle all those crowds.
I don't think I can handle it. Yeah, I don't think I can handle it. I think the closest thing I have to that is that when I was in boarding school, we had like the camp meetings, but we also did like almost like a Christian music festival. Like a couple of bands came to the school and played, and it was like an all-day event. And you know me, I'm such an escuincle. Like I can't do that for long hours and be up and around people and screaming, and I don't know. I get headaches, and I can't do it. I like one concert, like go to listen to a specific concert. But I mean, I guess you can come and go as you please. You don't have to be there from dawn to dusk.
Yeah, I just think the celebrities make it seem so cool. It's probably very cool for them because they have VIP access, and they
not to mention that shit's in the desert, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think this year was in Austin. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it's definitely warm weather. But I'm just saying, hot. Like the celebrities make it look cool, but they get like VIP access, and they're like in very exclusive spots. If you or I went to this thing, like we'd be with like the general audience, and
we'd be on our feet all day, and you probably have to pee in a porta potty.
In the porta potties, yeah. Wait in line for everything.
Yeah, even going to Disney or Universal now, that is like so taxing. No, it's hard. No, you can't do it. But are you gonna do Disney with Baby Jonas?
Of course, another tradition. I'll probably have to wait a few years until he's a little older, but I definitely plan to do it.
Well, plan to save to do it, because that is so expensive.
I agree. Well, yeah, so Coachella was the place to be see and be seen. Did you see all those pictures that came out of the weekend and Selena Gomez?
Yes. Oh my God. They just look so odd together. I guess, but you know what? Because, I think I'm used to seeing her with people like
Justin Bieber,
and then her sitting next to The Weeknd. It's like he's a grown man, and I know this one time. Sometimes she tries to like dress a little more grown up, but she's got this baby face going on about her. And then this weekend she had this really pretty summer dress. She looked like straight out of My Girl,
Yeah. To me, it's a little bit of an odd couple too. The Weeknd's not that much older than her. It's just he's got a different vibe than Selena.
He does.
But they seem really lovey-dovey. They posted a lot of PDA pictures, and they were photographed together, and they made a public appearance at Coachella. So that's kind of like a big deal in
celebrity world.
Yeah, like that means we're attached, Whereas Leo and Orlando Bloom showed up too. They were together, but they just
Orlando Bloom and Selena Gomez?
No, Orlando Bloom and Leonardo DiCaprio. Even though Orlando Bloom was rumored to be with Selena Gomez. Don't you remember that scandal with Katy Perry a couple months ago?
Oh, no.
Yeah, like they were photographed kind of canoodling. Selena Gomez has been all over the place
She
lately.
Sure has. Another Latina gone wild.
I know. Leo was there with Orlando Bloom. That was kind of like his bro date. And, they were reported surrounded by models and tequila the whole time.
Love Leonardo DiCaprio for that. I
know.
Feel like he's like his character in real life.
I give him a pass because he's such a great philanthropist. He's such a big environmentalist that, you know what? His thing is models. I feel like I give him that. He's like the perpetual bachelor. So let him do what he does.
Has he ever gotten married?
No.
Never. He likes them tall and skinny. What can you say?
He likes them tall, skinny, and blonde. So that's his type. I mean, but that good for him. George Clooney did it much longer. So who knows? Maybe Leonardo will get tired of it someday and settle down.
With like a high-powered attorney.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see.
Oh, many hearts will sink when that happens. He's so cute. Even with his little pot belly, he's so cute.
Yeah, he is. Who else showed up? Another couple, Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas. I know you don't watch Game of Thrones, but she is Sansa Stark on Game of Thrones. And she's with Joe Jonas. That's another little odd couple. I'm going to have to watch them. Yeah, you know, young. I don't know if it'll last very long. I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but yeah, those two were seen together, and I guess Kendall showed up with went to see her boyfriend.
Who's Kendall's boyfriend?
ASAP Rocky is spelled $A$ AP Rocky.
I'm sorry. I don't think I can date anybody with a $sign in his name.
Seriously, I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't know who this person is, but I can't take you seriously if you have like a punctuation, like a symbol in your name. I don't know. So yeah, Coachella was the weekend of love, I suppose. Yeah, and the other big thing about Coachella, apparently, like, EDM used to be the big thing at Coachella, but apparently the biggest turnouts were the hip-hop artists this year. So it's becoming more of a hip-hop festival, which is interesting, because I wouldn't normally...
It just looks like so hippie-ish. Everybody, like, kind of dresses like a hippie, and you'd think, more like pop music, you know?
Yeah. Indie music, but nope. Hip-hop was the big sell at Coachella. So that's kind of like the Coachella news.
Yeah. What else is happening in the world today? I think we're ready for our Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves segment, Maddie.
I think so. So this week, our Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves shout out is going to go to a young lady by the name of Carolina Contreras. She is Miss Rizos. And you can find her on the internet. Basically, she opened up all curly hair natural salon in the Dominican Republic.
Yes, one of our own.
Yeah, so one of our own. So she talks about how the reason why she opened the salon was because, you know, she went to a nightclub one day and they told her she couldn't go in because she had her hair curly, beautiful, you know. And they told her she couldn't go in because, you know, of her hair. You know,
that's
like,
crazy.
You know, she was rocking her beautiful natural curls and kind of like a fro-y look. And they said that she couldn't go into this club in the Dominican Republic because of it. So she felt like something had to change. And I don't know about you, you know, being Dominican, there's definitely a stigma about good hair versus bad hair.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. Those exact words we use. Oh, you got good hair, girl. Or, oh, you got that bad hair, girl.
Exactly. I mean, I'm on the, you know, I'm not bragging about this, but, you know, I'm on the good hair spectrum, which means
I'm on the other side.
So my hair is a little, you know, it's a little straighter. My curls are like looser. So, you know, I don't have very tight curls. And, you know, that is considered quote unquote good hair. And, you know, the more Afrocentric hair, like the tighter curls, are considered bad hair. And I just think it's terrible that we think that way, or that Dominicans have that, you know, need to categorize people that way about having good hair. And then you'll see Dominicans are known for their doobies. And their blowouts, you know? Yes. So if you go to a Dominican salon, everyone's blowing the hell out of their hair.
Oh, yeah. You smell, as soon as you walk in, you smell hair burning. That's the first thing that you smell.
You smell burnt hair, and you smell... It's a cloud of smoke. Yes. So Carolina, Miss Rizos, aka Miss Rizos, she decided she wanted to open up a salon just that deals with natural curly hair. And, they focus on cuts and styling and the products to put on, the girls that want to keep their hair natural, that don't want to go for the relaxer and don't want to do the crazy blowout and, burn their scalp in the process.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, that takes so much time and money. Like, I used to, for a while there, for like a couple of months, I was going to the Dominican salon here in West Orange, and then I stopped. It was taking so much time out of my week just to do that. And I was just like, you know what? I look fine with my hair curly, or I'll do braids or something. But I need to learn how to embrace my curls like that, because she really does look so beautiful. But it's true. You need the right haircut. You need the right style. You can't just rock curly hair no matter what.
You need the right product. So
absolutely.
I'm personally, even though I don't have that kind of hair texture, I'm happy that is being embraced now, because I don't think everyone needs to fit into a little box. And I remember when I was young and I had like pin straight hair and my cousins had the curlier hair, I wanted to be like my cousins. I wanted a perm. I wanted the curly hair. And I just think all hair is beautiful. I think good hair is healthy hair. You know? Good hair is healthy hair. So it doesn't matter the texture. If you can have straight hair, and if it's dry, and, you
can tell when it's damaged hair.
Yeah. So to me, good hair is healthy hair. So I applaud Carolina Miss Rizos for her innovative salon idea in the Dominican Republic. Not only is she changing hair, I think she's changing lives, and she's changing perception and making it acceptable to embrace your curls in the Dominican Republic. So I really applaud her and what she's doing. And I'm going to post the link to her business. Again, it's in the Dominican Republic, but she's got a couple cool merchandises in her store, which I loved. I saw some t-shirts. I love Yo Amo Mi Pajon, which Dominicans, I don't know how you would translate pajon.
Like, I want to say fro. Like, yeah, I love my fro, or my little poof. Fro,
like my little poof, yeah. So it's funny because it's a very Dominican word, and like any Dominican that listens to this show would like crack up at that. But yeah, I love that she's got those shirts, and so you can purchase those even if you can't make it out to the salon. But shout out to her and the wonderful job that she's doing. And yeah, I hope to see more curly hair salons pop up all over the place.
I hope so too. That's really what we need here. We really do. We need to learn how to embrace our natural hair. I want to try to. At least in the summertime, it's almost like you have to. So I'm going to keep an eye out on those products, see if I can't like order them and have them shipped to the U.S. and see how they work for me. I know Cindy's been doing heat, like no heat for a while, and her hair always looks really nice. So
I think her hair is looking even better now. Like,
she's
healthier.
She's taking such good care of it. And when she did blow dry it for the wedding, it looked so healthy. So it looked really, really nice. So let's see. I actually want to try. And her website too, she had these really cool like scarves, like as headbands. I want to learn how to rock that. You think I can rock that?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the summer. Yeah, especially in the summer. I think you can do a nice headscarf.
I'm gonna try it.
You'll have to YouTube it. I'm sure there's tons of ways to wrap your hair that look nice.
I'm gonna have to try it out. We'll see. Okay, so we're ready for our next part of the show. It's called Ask the Sister. So we got some good questions this week. What should we start with first? I think we'll start with the really, really interesting one. Madeline, what is your viewpoint on legalizing weed? Recently, President Trudeau, right? Is that his name, Trudeau?
Yeah, but he's not president.
Oh, here it is. Trudeau unveils bill legalizing recreational marijuana in Canada. So it would be the second nation to possibly legalize it. It hasn't been done yet. So what do you think about that, Maddie?
I am pro legalization, believe it or not. I think it's fat. Like, I couldn't believe that it would be the second nation after Uruguay of all places.
I know. We all thought it was Amsterdam, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I figured it was Amsterdam, but as I was doing some digging.
Amsterdam's a city.
Yeah. A, Amsterdam's a city. And B, technically, it's not legal in Amsterdam. Did you know that?
No. So what do you mean it's not legal?
So apparently, it is illegal to grow marijuana in the Netherlands. So basically, the cops have turned a blind eye to selling in coffee shops, but it's not technically legal to do so.
So I wonder why they turn a blind eye to it then.
Because,
if that's the worst thing they can do, right?
Yeah, at this point, it's been a tradition in the Netherlands that they turn a blind eye. But on the books, it's not legal. It's illegal to grow marijuana in the Netherlands. So the coffee shops have them. The police just don't ask where they got their products. Mm-hmm. So I guess you can sell it, but you can't grow it. It's weird. But anyway, so Canada would be, after Uruguay, if they pass this bill, would be the second country to legalize the growing, selling, and smoking of marijuana. So even here in the United States, marijuana is decriminalized in some places. So if you have it in your possession, you won't go to jail or anything.
In certain places, but
in certain places.
Yeah.
But let's suppose you couldn't grow it. So you may have it, but you may not be able to grow it or sell it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So, it's not fully legal in some parts of the country. And, I personally am for legalization. And the reason why is because I just feel like, we need the extra income. Like, I feel like if we can tax it, why not? People smoke it anyway, and it's all on the black market. You can't regulate it. You don't know what's going in it. You don't know it. You're in contact with shady people because you're getting it. So it's like, if you can go ahead and buy it in a pharmacy, why wouldn't you? And know that you're getting what you paid for and that it is regulated. There's no harmful additives to it. And again, you can tax it and put more money in our economy. I also think that it's great, for people that are going through illnesses like cancer. When our stepfather was sick, he received some pretty heavy pain medication to counteract some of the the pain of his cancer. And I just think that marijuana would be like such a more natural way, a natural drug, and would have had less side effects than some of the stuff he was on. That to me are just very heavy duty, like Dilaudid or morphine or, I don't know, Ashley, you work in the hospital, so, Oxycontin or whatever is out there. All those prescription drugs are like, not only are they really strong, but, they're not natural. They're fabricated. So,
and
I don't know.
I think that, to be honest, I'm going to just be like, what? No. What is it when people think that they're suspicious of everything? Like, I think, oh my God.
Paranoid?
Not paranoid, a conspiracy. Okay. I hate to be a conspiracy theorist here, but I think the reason why the United States does not legalize weed, even though it is a huge, huge market, is because the pharmacy companies are even bigger, and they're paying off our politicians, or even our FDA, because I think a lot of the stuff that is in our medication is way poisonous to us. I personally think that people go into the hospital way less sick than when they leave. You go into the hospital and you may take like a Tylenol for a headache or something, and you leave with a whole list of prescriptions that you have to take, and it's like, I don't even need half this stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, just even for a simple dental procedure, you know? Like, I've gotten dental procedures in the past, and they've given me, like, Percocets or Vicodin and all sorts of crazy stuff that I've never used. I'm like, I'll just stick to my Advil or, you know, my Tylenol. But
I'll stick to my weed. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna need a little knockout for right now, and we'll be back tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why it's taking so long for us to legalize it here, you know?
I feel like we're so backward. We're so delayed. Like, other countries are much, much more progressive than we are. Like, England had a female prime minister before we did. I mean, we still have yet to have a female president. I think that's way overdue. We weren't the first country to end slavery. I think that we're so backward. We're so delayed with a lot of modernization that we need to get with it. It's like, it's now or never, because other countries, I feel like we're soon to be no longer the superpower of the world either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we're superpower in name, but I don't know how much of that actually holds weight anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd be curious to see what happens with Canada, because maybe if Canada legalizes it, then maybe we'll follow suit down here. I mean, they are our neighbors, so who knows?
Yeah,
you know, maybe. Huh?
No, I hope so. I still hope that. I mean, Canada does a lot of things that I think we should do, like socialize.
Well, that's why everyone
healthcare.
wanted to move over there.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing is it's so goddamn cold over there.
I know.
You know, it's just going further up north. So
It is, but you know, they have, I don't know. I am very progressive when it comes to those things. Cindy's a little more conservative, so I'd be curious to hear her views. Unfortunately, she's not here.
I know. We're like missing her third opinion on today's podcast.
Yeah, I definitely am missing. I'd be curious to see what she has to say, but again, the cons to having weed that people say, I think it's worth addressing too, because I don't want it to be one-sided, is, you know, they say that it does have an addictive nature. You know, it alters your perception, and all that stuff is being true, but so is alcohol. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I feel that, you know, there's merit in all those things. You know, you can drive under the influence of marijuana. You could get into a car accident, but the same rules apply for alcohol. I think if anything, alcohol is even worse. It's probably even worse for your body.
Yeah.
So I have to say, why one and not the other? That's my question.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've never seen anybody admitted for an overdose on weed or withdrawal from weed. On the other hand, I see hundreds a month alcohol withdrawals, and alcohol withdrawal, you can go into seizures, your heart can stop. Like, there's so much stuff that can happen when you're addicted to alcohol, and I think it's just people don't even think about it. They don't even think about it. It's become so normalized, but it wasn't always that way. Prohibition was real, you know? Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I mean, I think the other pro of legalizing marijuana is that it may like make some room in the jails, you know? Like, our jails are so overcrowded. The legal system is so bogged down because a lot of, you know, people are in jail for these minor drug offenses. So
but that's like a whole nother section, Maddie, because the jails are no longer run by states and federal prisons. They're privatized, and what they're doing is these prisoners are basically like they're slaves. Yeah, they work for they give them $1 a day or something like that. They do all this free labor for some minor petty offense, and now these private companies have access to this cheap labor, legit. You know?
It's crazy. I heard about all that. I mean, like, I don't know if you saw the documentary, The 13th.
No, I haven't.
It's a really good documentary, and it talks about the whole prison system and how the 13th Amendment basically says you can't own a person except for
a prisoner,
a criminal. Yeah.
Right.
So, it's a really interesting documentary about how the prison system was built on these minor offenses, these drug-related offenses for that, free labor. Because once they got rid of slaves, who was going to,
who's going to do all this work?
Who's going to do all the work? So they had to find a loophole. It's such a great documentary. It's on Netflix, the 13th. I'm going to post a link to that, too.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
It's worth watching if you're interested in that topic. But, I think that might help that problem as well, but like you said, it's more complicated than just
definitely. It's always comes back to money. Somebody's making money somewhere because the system is the way it is. Otherwise it wouldn't be this way. It would have changed a long time ago. Somebody's making money somehow, and that's why it's so important for our fellow minority people, young men and women, to really educate yourself about everything that's going on so that you don't just jump to do something just because it's cool and you're going to be a rebel. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure you want to be giving out your free labor for the rest of your life for having an ounce of weed in your pocket, and you can't ever get a court date because they keep pushing it back indefinitely for some bullshit reason. You know what I mean? It's real. It happens, and they will do it, and they absolutely will do it. So definitely, I feel like education is so important. We need to inform ourselves. So I feel like our podcast took a serious turn real quick. We went from Easter.
It's important to talk about these things. If you don't talk about it on the podcast, where else are you going to talk? You're not going to talk about it in the water cooler at work either.
No, that's right. We talk about it here because we can't talk about it at the water cooler at work.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep our eyes on Canada and what they're up to, but interesting stuff.
It is interesting. We'll see. I'm excited to see what happens again, just because I feel like this is gonna shape our future too. So,
and then once one starts doing, then others will follow suit. So we'll see.
Yeah. So what's next on our Ask Sisters podcast? Today we're coming with 2 questions. And this is something that I wanted to ask because I am, changing my outfit and my wardrobe a little bit. I'm downsizing, not only because my body is changing, but my lifestyle is changing. So as I'm trying to create my capsule wardrobe, I was thinking, what celebrity would I like to emulate or steal their style ideas from? And I think my first choice would be Jennifer Aniston, because I love the way she dresses. I really, really do. I've never seen her wear anything on the red carpet or anywhere else that I didn't like. Have you ever seen her doing a fashion blunder?
Never. I mean, her style is very classic. It's very I wouldn't say preppy. It's not preppy.
It's not preppy. No.
It's classic. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like modern. It's minimalist.
It's very earth tones.
Yeah, earth tones. And she's just very classy. She never goes out of style, if you ask me.
Never. I'm sure she probably has items in her closet that she's had for years and still rocking today, Yeah. No, I love her outfit. Who, if you could choose a celebrity's closet to raid, who would you choose?
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one because I would have originally said Jennifer Aniston, but I can't say her because you just
okay.
her.
So who else? Who else's outfit do we like?
You see, that's the thing. It's hard because there's like the style in my head and there's like the style I actually rock. Right now I rock a lot of blacks and I rock a lot of neutrals because, you know, I'm at like this, you know, they say black is forgiving and it may or may not be true, but I just feel like you draw less attention to yourself when you wear black, you know? So and also
it's easier to match with other things too. So
yeah. So in that case, like that's why I kind of gravitate towards Jennifer Aniston style because I feel like it's just very classic, it's basic. But, you know, there's people that I admire the way they look, like for example, like I love not Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon style. It's more preppy. I'm not a glam girl, so I won't say someone like Beyonce or Rihanna or anything like that. I could see Cindy saying something like that.
But I feel like
you know who else has a really nice style?
Who?
And not my style, but like a very consistent style. Jennifer Lopez. I feel like Jennifer Lopez. Not Jennifer Lopez on stage, scandalous outfits, but like Jennifer Lopez on a day-to-day, I think she looks amazing. And like her body is like a typical Latina body, very curvaceous, very pear-shaped. So she just dresses really well. And,
she does.
She's, you know, and I would say Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez and Gabrielle Union have both made some sort of deal with like the devil. And they look, Gabrielle Union especially, I feel like looks exactly like she did like way back in like Bring It On, or have you ever seen Never Been Kissed? She was on Never Been Kissed, I think. Was she?
Never Been Kissed.
Oh, not Never Been Kissed.
Well, you're the romantic comedy girl, so I'll leave that to you.
Definitely one of those movies. She looks exactly the same. Like, I there's no wrinkles or anything. I'm like, oh my God. How is that possible?
Yeah, no, she looks amazing. Jennifer Lopez looks amazing. I mean, granted, these ladies have tons of money. They can spend on like facials every day if they wanted to. But I think, you know, style, there's tons of celebrity with style, and style doesn't come easily for everyone. And I think Jennifer Lopez just has mastered her style, and she looks fantastic. I you know, and it's funny because she's not like, right now, I don't dress like a Jennifer Lopez style, but I admire her look.
Yeah. That's another thing, is that we can like their style, but it may not work for us. Like, Jennifer Aniston I don't have Jennifer Aniston's body, and I don't just mean that she's fit. I mean, like, my silhouette, even if I was as fit as her, would not look like that. You know, I have hips, and she's got boobs, and like she's just kind of slender. I want to say almost boyish, because even with the bikini, I'm not seeing too many curves under than her bosom, you know?
Yeah.
So
she's very like has an athletic shape.
Yes, athletic shape. Yes. So I definitely don't at all.
You know who else has like pretty good style? I hate to say this because she gets on my damn nerves, but Taylor Swift.
Oh, another person we don't have the body type similar to.
But I feel like she's kind of come into her own with her look. Like, she looks pretty good. Like, I like her, everything she comes out with, like, style wise. I think she's definitely dresses for her body. And she looks well doing it. But yeah, not my body style. And I don't care for her either. But I think she looks good when it comes to fashion.
Again, like, I think I'm coming to the point where, yes, I'm starting to get to the other side of my 20s now. And I need to kind of figure out how I'm gonna look, and dress. I've had that time where I can just buy at Forever 21 for basically my entire wardrobe, and now I have to like change it up a little bit. I'm gonna have to
well,
shop
good luck
around.
with that, because I'm 33 and I've yet to like find my look. I think when I lost a bunch of weight last year, I was having a little more fun with fashion and shopping, and kind of figuring out my style. And then I got pregnant, and it was just like whatever would fit was what I was gonna wear. Right. And now I'm like in this weird space. But I definitely feel like, I definitely feel like loving your body or being comfortable and happy with your body has a lot to do with style too, because I don't know about you, but for me, like, I don't even care to go shopping. To me,
I don't want to shop right now.
Yeah, I don't want to shop right now either. So I'd rather just wear my black, which is terrible. I hate saying this because I should be all like, yay, positive, positive image. You should love yourself, yada, yada. But that's the truth.
Yeah, let's get real here. Like, that's not the truth. Like, I went to Forever 21 the other day to pick up an order that I had ordered. I was being cheap and I didn't want to buy shipping, so I had to ship to the store. And usually I would jump at the opportunity to pick
try things on.
Yeah, try things on, or like pick a couple of things up. And to be honest, I could lie and say, it was being minimalist and not spending money. I just did not want to get in front of the mirror in the fitting room. And
face yourself.
And face myself. Every morning when I get out of the shower and I just look at myself, I'm so uncomfortable with myself. My clothes are starting to rip in places that they've never ripped before. I am like, my one pants that do fit are starting not to fit. It's awful.
I know. Well, yeah, I'm like in that place where, I gained some weight after the pregnancy, and it's like for a while it's like, it's the baby weight, but now it's like, okay, is this still the baby weight or is this my weight now?
At least you had a baby. At least you had the baby, and that's some of the reason. It has something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, but having a baby, my body, I gain weight in places that I never gained weight before. Like
where?
Okay, so my problem areas before I had the baby were wide bottom, because that's just who we are. We have very wide hips, big butt. So I always gain weight in my thighs, but now I have a pot belly. I have
the worst.
I have a huge pot belly that, it's just, you can't hide it. I wear a shirt and it's just I have a gut. So I have a pot belly, and then also my arms, which was never a problem area. Yes! I was always very slender when it came to my arms. Now I have fat arms, and I see it and I'm like, oh.
I know. See, thank you, God. And I was feeling so self-conscious during the wedding because we wore these dresses that were very showy.
Yeah, I feel terrible because Sydney got her wedding pictures back and they were beautiful, but I have not shared them because I really just hated the way I
hated the way that I looked in that wedding. I'm so sorry. And it wasn't about us. I feel like now it's okay to say that, almost especially since Sydney's not here, right? She'll listen to it later, but I just did not feel pretty in that wedding at all. I don't know, the hair didn't come out the way that I thought would have been, I don't know, very flattering. I think the way they pulled it back was harsh to my face. And then the dress that I just didn't feel pretty, and maybe it had nothing to do with that. Maybe it just had to do with me, not feeling comfortable with myself. And
for me as well, it didn't have anything to do with that as much as I don't feel like I'm in a pretty place right now. I'm just, this is not my body. This is not even the weight loss body that I had,
Yeah.
like, because that body I'm used to, that body I'm familiar with. This is a completely different body that I didn't know existed. And it's funny because it's like this summer, like, I've been fantasizing about going away, and all I can think about whenever I go away, I'm thinking about somewhere warm, somewhere with beaches, and then the reality,
yeah,
and then the reality sets in. They're like, oh my god, I'm not beach ready, or I don't feel good about myself right now. But
yeah.
I don't know. To hell with it. I may just do it anyway because I really need some R&R.
Yeah. Let me just say, I have my Jamaica trip coming up, and I'm not looking forward to going to the beach. I'm like, I mean, I am looking forward to it, but I am like shopping for cover-ups more than I'm shopping for bathing suits because I don't want to take my cover-up off. And it's like, I can't even work out right now because there's so much going on in my life. We're busy. I have schedule-wise, we're getting bought out by a different company. I'm training a new girl. I'm doing stuff in my life. Like, it's just, I don't have the time to take another thing on right now,
Yeah.
That's
how
so frustrating.
That's how I feel. And I have the bike downstairs, so really, what's my excuse? You know what it is? You just got to get into that mental zone. I was talking to someone this week about it, and they're like, what did you do when you lost the weight? I'm like, you know what? I was just mentally ready. Like, I was mentally ready to lose the weight. Yes. And I think I just have to wait to get to that time. Like, it just hasn't clicked for me yet. It will. I believe it will, but I just feel like right now it hasn't clicked, and that's okay. But yeah, I'm not about shopping right now for myself. I'm just kind of like riding on my maternity pants still, keeping it real.
Well, if you have an extra pair of maternity pants, just throw them my way because I'm running out.
If I could live in yoga black stretchy pants, I would totally live in black yoga stretchy pants. But anyway, I feel like we just went like
on a rant.
Yeah, negative Nelly on this like Ask the Sisters. But sometimes you gotta keep it real. And like, I want us to be positive body image, but it's like part of the burden of being a woman. You always critique yourself, and you're always hard on yourself. So.
But I think it helps to know that we're not the only ones who feel this way, And I don't think we're being negative Nelly just to admit that this is how we're feeling, Yeah. I don't think I'm less beautiful. Thankfully, thank God, another human being still thinks that I'm beautiful and is willing to hold me. But I think that it's okay to admit this to ourselves and forgive ourselves, because then when we get to the point that we're ready to work out, we can do it and like just jump on it and not feel guilty for all the like the bad talking ourselves. Let's just forgive ourselves and kind of move on,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, time to close that subject and move on to our weekly obsessions. What have you been doing this week that you're completely obsessed with?
Okay, so as you guys know, I was watching Big Little Lies, and it was great. If you guys haven't watched the limited HBO series, you really should. It was such a good show. I got really into it. It was like 6, 7. It was a few episodes. I would say less than 10. It was less than 10 episodes, so it's really short. It's worth watching. But anyway, I'm having a little bit of withdrawal, so I looked up the soundtrack on Spotify for Big Little Lies. It had such a great, the music on the show was just awesome. It was a great eclectic mix of everything. Some new stuff, some old stuff, indie stuff, rock stuff, everything. So if you look it up, Big Little Lies soundtrack, I know they have it on Amazon. I'll post the link. But if you have Spotify, it's on there too. And they have so many, like, it's just such a great playlist. And, it's different from whatever's on the radio. Right now, like, what I played.
So we wouldn't know any of the artists on there?
No, they have some classic stuff. Like, they have Elvis in there. They have some Stevie Nicks. But they have a lot of artists that you don't know. But, like, the sound is just really cool. Very chill vibe. It's good for driving. I enjoy it to drive. yeah, I really enjoyed the soundtrack. And like I said, you can buy it on Amazon, but if you have Spotify, you can get it on there for free. So it's worth checking out if you're looking for some new music. And yeah, right now everything on the radio. Oh my God, I played the radio this morning, and I feel like Ed Sheeran's "Shape of You" comes on like every 2 seconds.
Every 2 seconds.
Every 2 seconds. So it's refreshing to listen to something that's like not out there constantly.
Every once in a while, like I now that Spotify's out and we have unlimited and we can choose what song we want to listen to and all that, I get into these awful ruts where I just listen to the same music over and over and over again, like what, be it throwbacks, be it like a certain artist or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, I have to break my habit, listen to something new so that I can, you know, get familiar with new artists. But I don't know, I feel the same way. I'm not like, there's nothing new out there that's really, I don't know, that's really catching my eye. Like Shakira came out with a new song, Alicia Keys came out with a new song, John Legend, and they're all, to me, they're all aight. You know what I mean? They're not like, wow.
They're not like life changing. Yeah, Lady Gaga came out with a new song too, which I was like, it was okay. I forgot what it was called, but she came out this week with it. A
Million Reasons? Oh, no, it's not that one. No. It's something else, right?
It's another one. It's like the second single off that album. But, yeah, you know what? I just think it's a sign that we're getting old. Yeah, because that's what all the old people say. When I was your music was much better when I was younger.
I know. And we do have to keep, I feel like we all are very musically inclined. We all like music, so it's good to kind of keep our options opening and, like, you know, just explore different artists, you know, because it is art. But I'm waiting for somebody to wow me.
To blow your mind.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm waiting for like a new Florence or something. Like, I remember when Florence came out, Florence and the Machine. Yeah. My mind was blown. Like, I loved her. And I'm waiting for something like, you know, something like that. Like a different sound to come out. Yeah. Than what's playing. Like, I'm tired of all this like EDM dance stuff. You know. Oh, speaking of music, Justin Bieber came out with like a Spanish song. Did you hear that one?
No.
Yeah. Oh God. This is where like my Spanish lags. I forgot. It's like a reggaeton type of song. With some artist, I don't know the name. I'm sorry. I will hand in my Latina badge. But I know that he's on it, and you know it's getting mixed reviews. I heard a clip. I think he sounded pretty good. I'm curious as to why he decided to do a Spanish song. I guess, you know, why not hit another market? Yeah, something different. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. So.
Well, A for effort. Well, you know what? Maybe it's, you know, Selena's on his mind. Even though I know she's Latina, but I don't know. I never think of her as Latina. You know, I know her name is very Spanish, but I don't know. I just feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, she doesn't really rep her Spanish side that much. At least, you know, not vocally. Not
exactly. So I'm like, oh, okay. My weekly obsession this week has been this new app. It's called Simply Day. And I've been trying to, as I'm like on my, I feel like I'm a broken record. Every time I get on this podcast, I'm always mentioning minimalism, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just trying to downgrade my life and downsize so that I can be less stressed out and have less burden. But if you see me on a day-to-day basis, like walking to work, I have legit a minimum of 3 bags. My purse, my like book bag where I keep like, you know, I don't know exactly what do I keep in my book bag that I need at work. Exactly.
That you need to carry with you.
Exactly. And a big old lunchbox. And it's just like, Charlotte, there's got to be something that you can let go of here because you're literally burdening yourself. You're like the bag lady. Yes. So I got this app trying to, you know, put my good old fashioned planner to the side, you know, because I cannot be parted with it. I love it so much. I write every single thing down there. I love it. And but it's starting to become heavy, right? Because it's not only the planner, it's the life binder where I write all my expenses down, and then I can't have those two things without my bag full of colored pens. Like, I can't do that. God forbid, you know? So it's like, okay, there is like 3 huge things. So I decided to get this app where it's your calendar, it's your email, and it's also your reminders. So it has all 3 together, so you can actually just go ahead and delete your email app, your reminder app, and your calendar app, because this is going to do all 3. So if you get an email like, oh, Charlotte, do you want to go for drinks or whatever, I can just click that email and make it a meeting. Or if you send me something, oh, Charlotte, don't forget to bring such and such to wherever, I can remind myself to do it. And it helps. I like that it's all there in one app. I really, really like it. So far, I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and I like it. So I definitely recommend it. So
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, see. I had to, I was a big binder person before, and I had to give it up because it was just, as much as I love the satisfaction of writing things down really neatly in a calendar, and then like scratching off things when they're done. It was just heavy. Like, my purse was getting super heavy, and I had to lug this thing everywhere I went. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get with modern times. And, like, I got myself the Google Calendar. And, like, I used that thing religiously. And I was a hardcore binder person for years. Like, I still have some old binders that I don't even know why I keep them. Just in case one day I want to remember what I did.
Hoarder.
I know. But it's just like... and then I had to let it go because I'm like, you know what? This is just ridiculous. I can't keep carrying this big ass binder with me everywhere. So I moved to modern times, and I have everything in my Google Calendar and Gtask. But like, yeah, I do have multiple apps for those things. Like, I have the Google Calendar, I have the Gtask for my tasks. I do have my email. So I'll look into this app. If it can simplify things a little bit, why not?
Yeah, it does it all like in that one app. So that's why I got that one, right? Because I was doing that for the couple of apps for a while too, and that was just like confusing, right? Because the whole point that I like about my calendar is that it's all right there, you know, in one place. So this kind of did that for me too. So I really like this so far. So yeah, that's one thing. What was I gonna say too? I forgot what I was gonna say. That's okay. It'll come to me later. So the next thing we're gonna do, I'm actually excited about this because I wanted to do a game on the podcast for a really long time, and I'm almost sad Cindy's not gonna be here. We're gonna have to do it again next week. If it works out and we have fun doing it this week, we'll have to do it again next week to make sure that we'll see how much she knows about us. Madeline, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so, you know, we were thinking about we should do some games about how well do we know each other as sisters. So we have a couple questions, and, you know, one of us will ask the question and the other one will answer, and then we'll see if it's the same answer they would have picked, right? That's essentially it.
Yes, that's exactly it. And that way our audience can actually get to know us a little bit better too.
And we get to know each other a little bit better too, because who knows? We may or may not get these answers
exactly.
right. We'll
that'll be
I think
fun.
We're starting pretty easy this week.
Yeah,
though,
we are. If any of you guys have any questions you want us to ask each other, send us an email or message us on Instagram. Yeah, we'll definitely be asking some funny questions. So I'm gonna make you go first. Okay, so your first, it's actually just one question. What is the weirdest habit that I have, that you think that I have?
Oh yeah, I know this one. You have this weird habit because I kind of have the habit, but you take it to the other level. I think your weirdest habit is your obsession with popping pimples and blackheads.
And now I remember what I was gonna say. I think you said like that perfect satisfaction of you said previously when we were talking about calendars, that perfect satisfaction
of crossing
it off, and I was just about to compare it to that perfect satisfaction of popping a pimple. I literally was just gonna say that.
I know this about Ashley because I have the same, like, we share this little bond of like pimple popping. We both follow Dr. Pimple Popper on Instagram, which if you don't follow Dr. Pimple Popper and you're obsessed with like pimples and blackheads like we are, that is the Instagram account for you. It is amazing.
It is pretty
also
good.
Traumatic.
Yeah, because she does like these cystectomies and stuff, and you're like, God damn it, I can't get access to a scalpel.
Yeah, it is insane. If you like that stuff, then it's totally the Instagram for you. Kleber thinks it's so gross. Like, he's like, don't show this to me. This is disgusting.
I know. Sydney feels the same way, I think. She hates it.
I love it, and Charlotte loves it. You know, I think, like, Charlotte just takes it to the next level because I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy popping it on myself, but I don't necessarily enjoy popping other people's pimples and blackheads. and Charlotte likes doing that. Like,
yeah, I love it.
If you're one of the men in her life, Joshua, her boyfriend, like, you best beware because she will be after you to pop a pimple or a blackhead.
Oh my god. And I had to say, like, TW does not have any pimples or blackheads, and it's driving me insane. I'm like, Joshua, come visit me. I have to pop something.
Yeah, so that's definitely a weird habit. So that's one thing that if you didn't know about Charlotte, now you know.
I know.
I don't know if you needed to know this.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun.
Oh my god. All right, Maddie, ask me my question.
So, Charlotte's question for me is, if Maddie could time travel into the future or the past, where would she go?
Oh, that's my question, is it? That one's a toughie, Madeline.
You know, it is a toughie because I don't even know what I would say.
So then none of my answers could be wrong because you don't even know.
I don't know. I haven't thought about that, to be honest, but
I would have to say...
I'm thinking of it right now.
I would have to say the future because I think you're progressive. I think your overall personality is progressive. You're not as romantic as I am, and you don't live too much in the past. You know, you're like always looking to make new memories and stuff. So I would have to say you would move to the future. You know, you'd want to know what our life would be like in the future. You'd probably want to meet Jonas in the future and see what he looks like, and maybe if you have any other kids or anything like that. Yeah, I would have to, if I had to guess, I would say you would travel to the future.
Okay, I mean, I think that's a fair answer. I like it. I think, like, yeah, that's a good answer. The only time in the past, like, I was thinking about, like, what generation would I have wanted to live in, and it's hard to say because it's like the 60s were cool, but like the 60s weren't cool for minorities.
Yeah, the 60s weren't cool if you were a woman or minority.
Exactly. So it's like I wouldn't want to, you know, like, I like it in theory, but I also like it because it's been romanticized by, you know,
a lot
the
of
white media.
Happened. Yeah, a lot of things happened in the 60s, though.
Yeah, the 70s seemed like they would have been fun. Like, disco was big. You know, not as hard of a time for minorities as, let's say, the 60s, but I don't know. I also would be fascinated with, like, the roaring 20s. I think that would have been a fun time to grow up in. you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but I mean, style-wise and, like, just vibe. Like, I watched Boardwalk Empire, and I was just fascinated with that whole time, time period. So,
but think about it. I mean, you would be doing without so many little luxuries that we have now. Like, you would not have information at your fingertips anymore. Like, phones didn't even exist. The internet didn't exist. If you needed to make a phone call, not only did you have to be on, like, a landline, it probably cost you a lot of money. You know, in the 20s, you probably, your main method was, like, writing.
Yeah, but I mean, hello. I mean, I'm 33, so I grew up without internet. Like, internet didn't, like, happen until, I would say, well, we had dial-up when I was in high school, but then it really blew up in college. That's when Ethernet, like, you know, when I went to college, there was Ethernet. So, you know, I had a couple years where there was no internet. It's like, what is this thing, you know? So... I mean, that's it for today. What do you think, Charlotte?
I think we're done. I think
we covered a lot. I think we covered a lot of ground. I want to remind our listeners to visit us on sisternightpodcast.com and check out the links for this week's episode. We're going to post everything up there. I also want to encourage you guys to email us your questions, any feedback that you have on the show, anything that you like, you don't like, or if you just have questions for the sisters, email us at sisternightpodcast@gmail.com, and you could also send us a message on our website. And visit us on Instagram too. We're always active on there.
Absolutely. And we answer any questions, any comments. We always get back. So we love to hear from our listeners. But thank you so much for listening tonight, guys.
Thank you so much for listening. And we miss Cindy so much, but we can't wait for her to join us next week. So good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.